Alright, back for another stream. And Ignition didn't work for me earlier this week, but it is up and running now. Let's go ahead and get our programs open. See if we can't play a couple hundred hands here. 4 tabling, bankrolls at about 2,200. We'll take some more 100 L shots when we hit 2,500 again. Been pretty break even lately. We'll have to check the graph. Like I said, it's been about a week since we've played. So let's take a look, kind of see where we're falling. Where are you? Hold on, manager. Oh, I need you open so I can get my HUD. Art plus science of winning poker. No, we're good on that. Get rid of that. And we'll get rid of these for right now. Let's get on the actual correct stream as well. There we go, that's much better. Okay, so we're on the poker stream. And pocket tens is a good hand. Bet. Why is that there? There we go. And that guy's deconning already. So anyway, what's the graph look like right now? Been pretty break-even-ish for, I don't know, 8,000 hands or something, but we are a little bit upswingy right now, which is nice. And looks like Pocket 10 is going to take it down with the 3-bet. He sized 3.5x. I generally see better players sizing 3 or 2.5x from the button, so, and he has not reloaded, so we might have position on a good player. Unfortunately, our positional advantage here is on a guy with 14 big blinds. That guy's sitting out, and then big stacks to our left. Over here, new player to our left, full stacks around except for player 1, and we have position on a guy who hasn't reloaded down here. So maybe some good games. We'll keep track of it. Would have been nice if I raised any button, but I do not. That guy makes it 3.5x too, and then this guy cold calls the button. Could be okay. I mean, pocket pairs make a fine call-in position. Looks like we're waking up with aces right away, which is nice. Open limp under the gun. Hopefully someone ISOs against him, which they do to 3x. We're going to be able to squeeze here. And I'm not going to ISO 9-10 off, even though it's effectively the button. This guy only has half a stack. So there is 350 for free in the pot if they all fold. This guy might just put his money in though, and he does. So we're going to try and avoid diamonds or a 6. We're going to end up with a nut flush, so that worked out. Small stack, but now we have position on either a new player, a fish who reloaded. This guy called off his, he called a 3x after an isolation with a 6 suited, so we know he's a weak player. He's only buying in for 15. A little disappointing, but we know he's a weaker player, so off to an okay start. Team, a little disappointing. And queen 5 will fold. Jack 5, I'll fold the button, reload chips. 8-10 UTG we can fold. I guess in theory, if this doesn't get raised ahead of us, we'll complete here. And it doesn't, I'll also complete here. This guy open limps the button. Bad move. Bad moves all around. We flop bottom pair. I'm not super interested in playing a big pot. I'm not sure leading gets value from anything. I'm never going to know what to do on the turn. I guess you could check call sometimes, but readless. Check call, check fold are probably close. He shouldn't have a ton of aces, though he could have some since he had reposted a missed blind. I don't think he would necessarily raise 100% of his aces. And then, of course, he could have that other pair, all sorts of stuff. So Doesn't matter though. Turn comes at 2 of diamonds. We bet a little over 2/3 of the pot. Given that I don't think they have a pair that beats us, we can get value from like a weird 2. We can get value from a flush draw. And I felt comfortable playing it. Same situation here. It's a limped pot. This guy limped UTG. This guy limped the button, and then we flop bottom pair. And that guy bets full pot, very dry board. There's no real draws he can have, and we're just going to give it up. Play it pretty simply. I'm going to raise to 2.5x here. Smaller sizing. We're going to raise really wide from the button. It also makes it so that when they 3-bet, it's usually a little bit smaller, letting us defend a little wider. And with a hand like 5s and a 3-bet pot in position, it's not a bad idea. We'll bet half the pot. Kind of a weird board. He can have a lot of draws. He can have some 9s, some 8s. I don't think either of them would check raise. I think I am going to fire a second barrel here. I think maybe we'll have some fold equity with that king hitting. Some 8s would fold. Some 9s might fold. We're still getting value from flush draws, and he shouldn't have a ton of kings. So I think we get hands with equity against us to fold. I think we get better hands to fold. I think, like I said, we're still technically ahead of a flush draw, though they have usually 2 overs plus their diamonds, but I fire a lot of turns. I barrel a lot, and that's why the red line does pretty well. 2s, pocket 2s, the hand opening chart that I've seen most frequently that I kind of like actually advocates folding 2s UTG, but I generally bet it. We'll bet $1 here. There's really not a ton of reason to bet big. So this guy makes it 550. We're being asked to call 550 to win what would be, we would have 42 behind. I'm going to fold. It's kind of close. Generally, you want about 10 times more behind. I'm worried if I call and this guy has a marginal middle strength hand, he might jam on us, which we would have to fold to, and after putting in 550, that would be a pretty big problem. I'm not sure what this guy has. I don't think he's calling down the king high. I imagine he has an ace or like a weird pocket pair that beats us, so I'm prepared to fold river if he leads. I'm going to fold 2s here. Sometimes we'll check it down. He'll show us king high or pocket 2s or something really weird. I'm going to fold. Very strange, unless it's king high with spades. His ag factor is 2. I imagine it's an ace usually. 537 into 1369 is tempting. We only have to win about 30% of the time. I just don't see him bluffing very often. Like, why would he bluff? If he thought king high was good, why would he bluff? So I think we're going to hit by more chips and save a bet here. Sometimes we get bluffed off the best hand. Sometimes he actually shows us like pocket 3s though, and we just puke. So maybe I bet too small on the flop. I think if I bet bigger on the flop in the turn, or even just the flop, I feel like, well, he probably isn't floating me with king high, and it becomes an easy fold. I think if I had bet like 2 into 3 or $1.50 into 270 or whatever, and he called flop, I'd probably just check back turn, which makes the river, you can, if he bets and we think he's bluffing, it's a smaller bet, so we lose less. Now, we gave up an extra free card, but his range is a little more defined too, so if he makes a big bet on the river after check calling the flop to a relatively big bet, it makes it pretty clear to me he has us beat more often than in that situation where I made 2 small bets where he could have had like a weird king high, weird pocket 2s type of situation. Here we defend the min raise 3 ways. Not a super strong hand, and we are just going to check fold here. We don't have much going for us. I'm going to turn that into a bluff as well, a little squeeze bluff. And we flop top pair there. And we win $3, non-showdown there. So 2 options here. We can check back and then call almost any river except a club, or we can bet. If he check raises, probably have to fold, and I am going to call here. I'm definitely going to be calling this river now, unless he just like jams. I think we'll do a small value bet. Little under half pot. If he raises, we'll just fold. Weird. Not sure what he was doing there, but good for the red line, I guess. Definitely going to be opening this. If he limps, I might consider over limping. Now he makes it 2 out of 20, so it's going to be an easy fold, especially considering he's 55-0. Never raises pre, so he definitely has a hand that ace deuce is behind. We'd either need to hit an ace if he had a pair, or hit a flush if he has a good ace or a 2. We're just never going to know. It's never going to be clear to us. And he doesn't have a good stack size, so we can't run multi-barrel bluffs. It's not a hand I would call in position with, even if he had 100 big blinds. Unless he was super aggressive and bad post-flop, just in a general sense, meaning I would be able to tell pretty clearly when I could bluff profitably, or I knew he'd go off for a ton of money. I might float there in position if the blinds do not 3-bet very often. I am going to isolate him here since I know he's a weak player. His fold to c-bet, we have not c-bet against him, but he c-bets 0%. I imagine this is probably slightly plus EV. Flop a gut shot. I think I will find out if he likes to fold to c-bets or not. Here's the problem. That flop whacks this type of range. Now, pretty much any flop kind of hits that type of range in general because they can have any 2 cards. So he could have, 4-5, nothing good. Then we got double gutter. Don't know if he'd ever fold a club, but if he doesn't have a club and he has like a 1-pair type hand, I think we could profitably bluff even a loose player here. Problem is, if he's super loose, he would be check calling like maybe any pair plus any club probably would call correctly. And he just leads turn. I'm just going to fold. I mean, I think he has a lot of ace highs. He's probably never folding an ace. He could technically have a flush. He could have 2-pair. So we'll just let it go. I defend 7s from the big blind. I think it's pretty standard against an under the gun raise. And, excuse me, don't flop a 7. We're just going to go for the check fold. I mean, his range of hands. The only other thing you could do maybe is like check raise, bluff, try and get 10s, jacks, 9s, 10s, jacks, queens. King, queen might fold. But I mean, that's just like a perfect flop for a tags under the gun range. So, not going to do anything crazy. We'll fold 8 deuce. I will complete with 8-3. See if we can't flop something crazy strong, but we don't. Aces is going to get it in against a bare flush draw. I did not see how that hand went down on the flop, so it might have been very standard. It probably went 3-bet pre, probably went open, 3-bet pre, call, c-bet, raise, flop, jam, call, and I think that would be pretty standard, actually. I should probably just 3-bet that, to be honest, but actually 50-14, yeah. Okay, so it went 3-bet 3 ways. I imagine this guy is going to bet like 10. Well, he only bet 650. That guy over-jammed. And not terrible, right? If you have king-queen, let's say this guy's ace-king or ace-queen. Obviously, you can't have ace-king or ace-king of spades because this guy's got king-queen of spades. So this guy jams, and he should technically have some fold equity against this guy's random squeezes and ace-king, ace-queen. So he probably has some fold equity. He knows he has some equity, right? I mean, the only hand that he's like really in trouble against is like ace-jack of spades or something. A set, pocket aces is bad to be against, especially if he has the ace of spades, and I don't remember if he did or not. So but he's never like drawing dead. He has some fold equity. He obviously has some real equity. If the guy has like ace-jack of spades, which would suck, he can hit a king or a queen. If he doesn't have a flush draw, which he almost never will, his spades are going to be clean. There's very few disaster hands, and unfortunately for him, this guy snaps it off with aces and holds. Did he have the ace of spades? Let's see. He did not, but guy misses all his outs. Unlucky. Reloads right away. Pretty strong, aggressive play from that guy. Ace-queen, we're definitely going to be ISOing this week 44-0 under the gun limp. Hopefully it just becomes a heads-up pot. We flop top pair and just make big bets through the river. That's ideal. Much more likely, you only flop a pair 1 and 3 times, and also when you flop a pair of queens, there could also be a king out there. So ideally it would be like ace 3-4, and this guy just like check calls down with ace 8, but it doesn't look like it's going to be. We're going to have to fold 5s here. In a vacuum, if this guy just 100% of the time would never put in another bet, It would be close. Risk 425. You'd have about $43 behind. Wouldn't be that crazy to call. But with this opening the betting to him, and also this guy could wake up with something and jam 1350 in there. He cold calls. Interesting. 6-7 we're going to fold. I was considering 3-betting that, but we'll not get the opportunity. And we're going to put a sizable raise in here and be committed to put it in pre. Readless. That guy calls. He probably doesn't have aces or kings. I think we're going to go for a check fold. I'm not going to c-bet this 3 ways, but maybe I should against 2 tags. I have a gut shot if it goes check through. Not sure how many jacks these guys should have in their cold calling range. This guy's range should be much more pairs. I'd be much more likely to see pocket 6s or possibly pocket 10s from this guy. Now this guy bets 6 into 24. We'll call that. Make the nuts on the turn. I think I'm going to bet this. I don't want it to go check through, and I think he might have something. You know what? I lied. I'm going to check. He checks right away. Yeah, I should have bet it. So it's possible that flop bet was weak. I don't know why he would bet into that guy. So we're running good, though. I'm going to give him good odds to call here. Yeah, and he calls. I wonder if he has a set. That'd be so bizarre to check back a set unless he really read how I played that. Jacks or 10s? He did. He flat called aces with that guy behind him. That is brutal. I'm sorry, buddy. Well, we flop top pair. This guy's pretty tight. We need to be very careful on this turn. We're going to keep the pot small and call most rivers. That's not one of them, though. We'll just try and show it down. Oh, aces and 5s. Okay. Should have squeezed pre, huh? Interesting. So his pre-flop raising range was not very wide. And usually I just fold even the suited one. The button makes it nice, but we isolate. We flop a pair and a flush draw, so not bad. And I'm going to bet bigger for a couple reasons. If we hit our flush or 2 pair or trips, we want the pot to be big. You could bet smaller and try and keep like a wider range in there, but our hands are really valuable and we're deep. Guy flopped 2 pair. He checked back the turn, or he checked the turn. Maybe because the diamond got there and there was a 3 straight on board. Wonder if I should bet river, not necessarily against ace 5. I think ace 5 might look it up, but I wonder if I should bet it there to get like 1 pair ace. I don't know if ace king, ace queen folds after turn goes check check. Yeah. All right, I'll let it go. I should have led the turn, so I really thought like he's not gonna like seeing that queen. I didn't put him on aces. His betting was really, really weird for aces. It actually makes sense to bet into this guy when he has aces, but betting that small is a little bit weird. And we'll call here in position. Flop top pair, backdoor. Straight draw, backdoor, flush draw. So we'll be calling flop. And we'll just check through. I think he would bet most of his 10s, actually, so I'm not super worried about the 10. Now, if he overbets, I think it'll be a problem. I'm going to give him a chance to bluff. Which he does. Fold to 3-bet 100% of the time. Yeah, let's go ahead and just try and end this hand right now. And he does fold. So running good, both in showdown and non-showdown. Let's see, I don't think I have the graph up yet. Let's look at session. Today's session, we are up 40, 92, and 82 hands. 40, 95, and 82 hands. Running about EV. And actually, nothing too crazy's happened. Played less than 100 hands, so nothing to talk about yet. We flop top, backdoor nut flush draw. This guy c-bets, come on, 67% of the time. He raises 19% of hands, so we should usually have the best hand here. I'm not sure if that changes much. I think we'll bet a half pot. Not sure if he would check back in. I don't think he would check back an 8, so maybe I should check and see if he'll bluff. Maybe he gets crazy and like calls down with like pocket 2s or something. I don't know why you would choose to play 2s that way though. I don't know if I need to bet there. I think draws would have bet the flop, and I don't want to check raise the turn though. So if this guy bets, it's a little awkward. Though given his stack size, I might actually just raise and put it in and not feel bad about it. I don't know. 5-7 will fold. 9-6 we folded pre. I was considering opening this, but I think this guy opened ahead of us. And actually 6-9 from the cutoff is not necessarily an open. Especially at low stakes games, it is fun to play pots with suited connectors, but that doesn't mean it's profitable. So against players who just call down too much, a lot of what makes suited connectors so valuable is that they can flop hands where you can barrel profitably against players who are able to fold some equity, or fold a hand, and you can turn some fold equity with a little bit of real equity into like a nice spot. At low stakes, these guys, you can play pretty exploitively in a manner where you're just exploiting the fact that people like to call down. Not nearly to the extent of when I first started playing poker, where you could literally nut pedal. You'd find guys like literally 12 or 24 tabling playing like a 5-0 style set mining, or like 5-5, 5-3, 10-3, whatever it was. You can't really get away with that now, but you can still play tighter than your opponents, and just over the long term, you'll just have a stronger range, which is pretty good. This guy folds to steal 100% of the time, so we'll just go for a little steal, which is kind of unfortunate. Ace plays decent heads up against a fish, but we are out of position. I don't mind taking a pre. I like the red line to always be going up, and like, why would I open limp? Open limp the small blind with an ace when I can just get 50 cents for free most of the time. We raise 6-9 here. This guy folds to steal 100. This guy folds to steal now 75. It was 67. And we are going to raise this one too if it folds to us, though it'll be 3x instead of 1.5. I'm just going to fold. Can't really set mine. Don't want to do any call downs. Got people behind me. So I hate folding pairs pre-flop because making sets is so fun and profitable, but it only happens 1 in 8 or 9 times. You need some money behind, and you need to make sure you're going to get to the flop. And with these people behind in that stack size, I could see them either 3-betting. This guy's 3-bet is 21.4. In fact, he does. And I could also see us just, we're usually going to go the flop and not flop a set. And when we do flop a set, the most we can win against that guy was like $17, $18, so, or 20. That guy jams. It's actually, it looks crazy because he just jammed all in, but it's barely over a pot size bet, which is probably fine with a 3-betting range. Like, I'd probably do that with almost my entire 3-betting range, actually. With 1 pot size bet left behind, you're essentially committed to the pot with almost any 2 cards, including like 2 overs, and you'll have some fold equity, so put the money in. And 5s takes it down, UTG, jacks, gonna be played from the button here. That guy folds to 3-bet 100% of the time, and I actually want to go to the flop in position with him, so we are going to not 3-bet, go to the flop, and our hand will be disguised. Our strength of our hand will be disguised. Now, if this guy 3-bets, be his first 3-bet in 30 hands. All right, we flop an overpair, so should be having the best hand here pretty often. Same deal here. Guy folds pretty a lot to steals. And now he's going to wake up and 3-bet us. Interesting. I think I'm going to go for 3 streets here. Definitely going to be raising 10s. King 8 will fold. 9-5 will fold. And I'll bet $8 here. Queens. Kings went for the check call. I was a little bit afraid of that, I'm not going to lie. I was thinking if we lose this pot, it's going to be because he's going crazy with like aces, kings, or queens where he just doesn't want to bet. He wants to check call against us. So let's just pretend we're on tilt and see if we can put ace king in there. Pre for 70 bigs against a very loose opener. And he folds pre. So we'll hiccup with that jack's hand. I don't think checking back river there is the best move. This guy's not very aggressive, so he can have some stronger hands, which he showed us, but even non-aggressive players usually would bet kings, aces, queens there. So I thought we had the best hand. He might have had ace king. More likely some like little pocket pairs. Actually, when the 7 hit and he paused, I was a little bit worried it could be a 7's call down that got us set on the river. This is unfortunate. I wanted to go the flop 4 ways with 7s, but I'm going to fold pre. Get an update on the graph. Probably not up. Yeah, we're up 30. How's the graph look? Red line up 10. Blue line up 20. Second pair, 4 ways. Awkward. Some big pot just got lost. Oh, okay. When did all the money go in? I wonder. That's weird. No, I can't really blame ace queen for getting it in. You have the gut shot to the nuts. We'll bet that. And we'll bet this too. Backdoor nut flush, backdoor nut straight, top, top. All the money goes in. King 8 must have shoved. No, ace queen shoved. Big draw. Nut flush draw, top pair. All sorts of good stuff. We're going to go for 3 streets here. Ten queen got there. So we improve. 10 queen got there. Definitely gonna be value betting if he checks and calling if he bets. Unless he shoves all in, then I'll really have to think about it. Went a little bit there. 8-9 suited, pretty standard open from the cutoff. Ace jack is going to be, so I got 7-10, interesting. Well, ISO there. Flop a pair here. Usually this board is just going to be check folded. Yeah, and it is. Flop top 2 in an isolated pot. I get value from any ace, any flush draw. Be sweet if he had ace deuce. And he folds 7. And we are going to have to fold that even before that guy shoved. Now it's a very easy fold. Don't you dare fold after blowing me off the set, you jerk. So he went for the squeeze, did not work out. Not necessarily bad, like ace queen might 3-bet there properly and then be forced to fold. Yeah, that guy calls behind us. Open ender. We win. Aww. What? I didn't sit out of that one, did I? I saw an ace and a 6 out there. That wasn't our... Didn't we win that ace 6 hand? I hope so. 10 high. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 5. Yeah, we got nothing. We got nothing. I'm gonna fold this. I'm gonna be right back. All right. Another pocket pair we got to fold pre. King 4 we can fold happily. Flopped a pair. He takes it down pre, so we would not. The only reason you would really want to call with 5s there is if you knew these guys were passive and would go to a flop, but they're not. This guy 3-bet 16%, 24%. Very tight player, so not a good situation to try and set mine, given that the opener is tiny stack. Jack 4 will find a fold, 10-8 will fold, ace 8 we can just fold. Pocket trays. Under the gun raise from a guy who only raises 12%. He c-bets 100. I think we'll float one here. See how he plays the turn. Yeah, He rarely bets turns. Obviously, we're not calling. How about raising flop? Maybe I shoulda. I also thought about 3-betting pre. Folds to 3-bet 100 and getting him to fold pre when we have pocket threes would be very good. And we'll fold here. This guy's got $12. Going on here? All right. Dead small blind. And we'll just walk. Get nothing out of it though. Checks. Open limp. This guy's pretty aggressive for a short stack. And we are going to bump that up. That card. I'll take that board on this table, please. Definitely take that river too. Jam. Okay, weird. C-bet works. C-bet works. Bet works. Ace high wins that one. He got limped under the gun with ace 10, so definitely something to pay attention to. Pocket tens, pretty strong hand. Fortunately, it's going to take it down pre. Two and a half X. What's up to whoever just joined the stream? Two overs, that's about it. He's a tight player though, so we are going to see bet. Expect expect most of his ace highs to just fold. Yeah, they do. Gut shot, not flush draw right there. Could have been cool. Cool little pot. We are going to fold queen 6 even though it's a min raise. Min raise under the gun. Weird. Nah, he's a weird player though. Pre-flop raising before that was 9%, over 50 hands. He hasn't reloaded, so he's a little fishy. Got 52 hands on this guy playing 37-17, and really no stats on these three. They're newer players. This guy's a short stack. He's played 40-0 though so far. We will complete that one. Jack deuce we can fold, and ace high would not have won. Pocket eights was going to take that down. I doubt he would fold the pair of eights with the flush draw. That board's not super threatening. But if we were in that pot, it would have been because we opened it, so it would have been a little different. King 7 suited will fold, even though this guy pre-flop raises 40% hands. He only steals 40% though, kind of weird. Small sample size. That guy shoves for a min raise. It's probably going to get called. Flush draw gets there, but that guy boats 7-9 offsuit. So a little battle of the blinds, except that guy was not in a blind. He had 7-9 offsuit limping under the gun, so definitely a good table here. That guy also called off his flush draw. Pocket kings against the fish. This could be good. Fortunately, this guy raises ahead of us, forcing us to 3-bet, which will probably get a fold from him. Not a very good board for us. Aces are better. We do take it down though. I consider checking back, but there's not like a ton of good things that can happen, right? If we hit a king, one of them's a diamond, and our hand is still worthless. This guy's pretty tight and he opened under the gun, so we might actually get action here. See if this guy wants to go for a cold 4-bet. Nope. And he folds. I'm going to isolate against this guy. Open limping under the gun. Ace 10 suited is a nice hand. Also imagine this guy might come along too. We have position on both. Flop one pair. I'm going to check it back. Not great river if he was betting a 9 on the turn. Flush draw, some combo draws. Why would you bet $11 though? He's essentially repping Jack Queen. Weird. Beat spades. I can beat that. I'm gonna fold here. I'm not really sure why you'd bet 32 into 15 on that board unless you had aces though. Or pocket 10s or pocket 9s or the last 5. He could have the last 5. He's 39 and 4. So our hero call worked there. I don't know if this is a good fold or not, but imagine he had the best hand usually. Be weird to call that turn and then overbet jam the river. Definitely was hoping that would be a 9. 9 of hearts. Okay, we're getting like 15 to 1. Take a 4, please. Gonna bluff that turn. Maybe I should have. That bluff worked. Might not have been a bluff though, honestly. These guys are wide. Yeah, and this guy 3-bets us out of the pot. I was hoping to get to play in position 50 BBs deep against the fish, but we're gonna have to fold. I think I'm gonna wrap this session up actually. My wife just got home. We'll just hit sit out next big blind on all of these. I will steal this guy's blind though. Or not. This guy's really going for the ace-high call down. Nice. That's fine. Ace-10's good. Oh, pocket 5s. Even better. What one on that? That's a big pot. Kings and 3s against ace king. Alright. That works. And we're going to fold that. Alright, we're out of that table. Table. C-bet worked there against this guy, which was nice. It's a good board for it, though. Pocket 9 is definitely going to be opening that. Might be our last hand if that guy doesn't show up. would have missed our flush draw there. Unlucky. And some medium-sized pot. King 8 will fold. Pocket 9's definitely looking to see a flop here. Preferably in position. This guy can fold. I'd like it if they called. We flop a 9 or an overpair. This guy's very fishy and bad. So is this guy. They're both very loose passive. This guy's never 3-bet before, so I'm not sure what he's doing. And we take it down pre. Better than losing. We're out of this one, too. And we'll probably have one more hand here. Where's the button? Yeah, I might have a couple more. How'd our graph end up looking? So we played 230 hands. Pretty small sample. Did good. Ran at about EV. Didn't play a ton all in pots, but that red line's looking good. Above 0, that's what we're looking for. Queen 7 we can fold. Probably would have the best hand. Just saying. And we'll fold our last hand. So that'll be it for today. Bankroll's up to about 2,200. Looks like it's going to be 2,240. Not bad. Session stats, we won 45.99 for a BB 100 of 40. Obviously unsustainable. And we just ran good. It was a very short session, a little less than an hour. So thanks for stopping by and watching, guys.